Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So I've got the Bitcoin chart up right now, and Bitcoin's trading at about $30,400 per coin. We really haven't seen too much movement, guys. I mean, we're still just consolidating down here in this level of support. And so to me, it's just looking like the market is waiting for some kind of catalyst in order to give it a reason to move. And you guys can see that with other cryptocurrencies like XRP. Everything is just kind of staying still right now. XRP trading just shy of 40 cents at 0.398. So not too much movement here. I don't want to dwell on the market too much today because we're just not seeing that much movement. However, there's a lot of buzz going on within the crypto community. There was the Ripple versus SEC hearing yesterday, June the 7th, which I'm going to touch on. A few things that I gleaned from that conversation yesterday. I don't know if you guys were able to dial in or not. First, though, I wanted to talk a little bit about this. I don't know if you guys heard about this. This was actually tweeted out by CoinMarketCap. An anonymous Twitter user claims they're planning to release 137 gigabytes of Telegram chats that could tear a rift in the crypto community. And so apparently there's evidence of influencers discussing rug pulls with regards to certain cryptocurrencies. And this is breaking, guys. This is the first I've heard of this. So they claim the platform suffered an exploit on in October 2019 that allowed them to collect messages that were sent by a number of targeted individuals, crypto influencers among them. And just full disclosure here, I am not one of those crypto influencers. According to A Dying Nobody, they were collecting incriminating evidence or data until May of this year, including evidence of scams and rug pulls being plotted. Don't know if they had any knowledge of the Luna situation at that time. Artists pretending to be developers, developers pretending to be artists, those pretending to be rich, those pretending to be poor, pretending to be something you're not. All of that was exposed to me. That's a quote from the person that wishes to remain anonymous. They went on to claim that many of the individuals and projects who feature in the data will not survive this, either due to public backlash, financial fraud, or other obscure reasons such as embarrassment, adding there will be confusion, there will be sadness, there will be anger, and there will be frustration. So this data breach is letting everybody know, forewarning everybody that crypto is not what it seems to be. Now, I know we all kind of have thought that there's some level of manipulation in the market. However, it sounds as though this is supposed to be a bombshell, and everybody in the space is not who they're claiming to be. There's a lot of lies. Everybody, as they mentioned earlier, everybody pretending to be somebody else. And so this goes as far as saying they claim the posts include racist, homophobic remarks, as well as discussions about adultery and sexual assault. The Telegram logs are also said to show high-profile personalities discussing rug pulls and projects that were designed to scam the community. So I'm going to keep my eyes on this, guys. I don't know how credible this is, although it is posted by CoinMarketCap here on their official blog. So I'm guessing they have looked into this. And I'm guessing they have credible resources here to back up these statements. Anyway, thought I'd let you guys know that. Also this, with regards to PayPal and cryptocurrency adoption, Andrew Zell bringing this to us. PayPal going all in with crypto. Probably nothing. So PayPal just posted this blog post saying they're thrilled to announce that starting today, PayPal supports the native transfer of cryptocurrencies between PayPal and other wallets and exchanges. Something that we've been waiting for a very, very long time. We know PayPal is a very popular payment system, not just in the United States, but worldwide. And so the cryptocurrency integration portion was big news back in October when they said they were going to integrate cryptocurrencies. But then we found that, it wasn't as good as we thought it was going to be. Well, since then, PayPal has expanded. They've kind of, loosened up on their restrictions, I guess. At the beginning, you could only send cryptocurrency, I think it was from PayPal wallet to PayPal wallet, or you could only receive cryptocurrency in your PayPal wallet, and you needed to exchange it on their platform only. Well, now they're saying this, available now to select U.S. users starting today and rolling out to all eligible U.S. customers in the coming weeks. This new functionality lets PayPal customers transfer supported coins into PayPal, move crypto from PayPal to external crypto addresses, including exchanges and hard wallets, and also send to family and friends on PayPal in seconds with no fees or network charges to send or receive. So I guess it was a bit of a gamble for them. I mean, on the one hand, they play it safe. They start out small. They only allow you to do certain things with your cryptocurrency on the PayPal exchange, so as not for it to get too overwhelming, I guess, for their support staff if something were to go wrong, and also for the regulatory clarity, right? And then, expanding as they're seeing more crypto rules and regulations become apparent. It sounds as though they are slowly, or whether it's a technological reason or whether it's a regulation reason or whatever, they're slowly expanding their cryptocurrency services, allowing customers to do more. Now, why that's a double-edged sword is, on the one hand, it's good for them because they're not committed to doing all this stuff all at once. And so they can learn, right, as the process goes on. They can start small and work their way up. But for their customers, they may think, well, a customer may go there and say, well, I can only do this with PayPal. I'm not going to use them as a service for my cryptocurrency. And that potential customer might move on to use another platform. So allowing PayPal customers the flexibility to move their crypto assets, and they mention them here, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, or Litecoin, into, outside, and within our PayPal platform reflects the continuing evolution of our best-in-class platform and enables customers to interact with the broader crypto ecosystem. Well, that's what we've all been wanting from the beginning. Us OGs who have been in the space for a long time have been doing this for a while. But I think PayPal is catering to the more mainstream crypto customer who may have gotten in more recently. Anyway, that's great news regardless, because this is just going to help expand the ecosystem. PayPal, a very popular, as I mentioned, popular payment platform in the US, and not only the US, worldwide too. So thanks so much to Anderzel for posting that. And this from John Deaton, okay, timestamp prediction for today. Now this was posted yesterday, June the 7th, talking about the Ripple SEC hearing, the telephonic conference that I know a bunch of you guys dialed into yesterday. The SEC knows the one thing XRP holders fear most is delay. The SEC will try and cause fear and divide among XRP holders by arguing that if the judge allows Amakai to file a brief, the SEC needs more time to respond, even though they don't. Number 2 of 3, he says the SEC might claim I'm trying to violate the court's order by presenting evidence, even though all I did was provide the parties with affidavits, not the court. The SEC may even argue that if Ripple attempts to use the affidavits, they must be allowed to reopen discovery. And then he goes on to say they might argue that they need to delay the case in order to depose the 2,000 XRP hodlers who signed affidavits. The SEC is desperate for the judge to not learn the truth. Delay is the only tactic it has. It will be meant to divide XRP hodlers. Don't worry, I've anticipated this. So the divide, the confusion, the delays that the SEC has imposed on this case. I'm going to give you guys my interpretation of that. Fox Business also just reported on this case. I will link this in the description of the video for you guys if you're interested. By and large, it just sums up, whoops, let me get back here. It sums up the entirety of the case. I just wanted to go down here. While it's clear from court records and oral arguments why Ripple wants access to the speech-related documents. So a lot of yesterday focused on the Hinman speech, or actually all of yesterday focused on the Hinman speech. A spokeswoman for the company had no immediate comment for this report. The SEC has been less transparent in seeking to keep them secret. The SEC has argued without elaboration that releasing the documents would breach attorney-client privilege because Hinman was technically a client of the commission as well as an official at the time he made his public statements. If the judge accepts the SEC's argument that every single draft, document, email, and comment made about the Hinman speech the last year of litigation, including her rulings, are meaningless, claims John Deaton, a class action attorney who represents over 67,000 XRP holders who have filed their own lawsuit against the SEC seeking damages for sharp declines in the digital coin. But if the communications are released, it could show how Ripple was unfairly singled out, and the SEC could be forced to settle with Ripple on terms favorable to the company, Deaton says. So, as we know, some lawyers are anticipating that this could run into 2023, but there is still a chance that we could still get a settlement, an agreement, depending, I think, how the SEC's lawyers are going to gauge the judge's interpretation, I think, of their arguments and of their case thus far. And good news for Ripple and XRP hodlers is that Judge Netburn, when I was listening to that call yesterday, she just really didn't sound very, very patient. I mean, she was giving both parties their time to discuss and talk, but with regards to the SEC's arguments, it didn't really sound like she was giving them the time of day. I could just hear it in the tone of her voice. And so, I'm wondering what is finally going to happen. Is the SEC going to break down? Are they going to continue to press on the judge's patience and continue to delay. I mean, this could affect the case in a positive way for them, meaning if they get their way, they could delay it even further. But also, I'd be very, very apprehensive to test the judge's patience at this stage. Fred Rispoli here responding. Okay, he's saying SEC suffered an epic beatdown at the hearing for those who couldn't get in. I hope the attorney for the SEC realized her arguments were toast walking in as opposed to actually believing them. Thank you to all those in the thread. So if you guys did not hear what happened yesterday, I'm going to try to recap and give you guys some perspective here. Crypto Arsenal saying the fact that the SEC's counsels seem so unprepared and unable to give any sort of coherent response indicates that this case was never about Ripple selling XRP as a security at any point. It was just to hold XRP back to benefit Ethereum. And yeah, I mean, I gotta say, it didn't sound like the SEC's attorneys really had any tangible argument. It sounded like she was going back and forth on the statement and really couldn't give Judge Netburn a clear, distinct idea of what their argument was. As you guys know, they've been going back and forth about whether the Hinman speech was his personal opinion or whether it was actually SEC guidance. And Judge Netburn even yesterday was trying to kind of clarify where they stood on that. So everybody here kind of realizing the same thing. German crypto guy here responding to Jeremy Hogan's tweet. Summary, stammer for an hour, stutter, yes, no, we disagree. Yes, but no, we want both. Yo, no, maybe it's clear or you want differently, but it's still clear. You know, I think you get the idea. That was pretty much it, states Stephanie Starr down here. Jeremy Hogan tweeted out, you don't need a law degree to know how the court hearing went, but it's even worse than it sounded. So he did post a video last night, and I got to say, Jeremy Hogan always does a great bang-up job on, kind of recapping on, the hour that we had there with the SEC and Ripple's lawyers. And if you guys didn't get a chance to watch Jeremy Hogan's video, I do suggest you go and watch his latest video that he did, just released yesterday, so late last night on June the 7th. A great synopsis on what he thought went down over there at the court. I just wanted to highlight some of the more important points I think that Jeremy Hogan mentioned in his video. First he was talking about that new crypto bill that just came out and the fact that it's not actually going to affect the case. It cannot affect the case, the Ripple SEC case, retroactively. I know a lot of people in the crypto space were wondering about that, and new law cannot affect old lawsuits. However, he did state that, the new sales of XRP would be considered under the new law once that law is passed. And so, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of this discussion was around those privileged emails, the attorney-client privilege, and the SEC doesn't want to hand over those emails, as you guys know, and also the fact that the SEC had a very, very difficult time sticking to their argument. Now, there were two things from the SEC that they stated that really could have set them back quite a bit. When the SEC's attorney was asked, is the SEC now taking a position that the speech reflected the position of the Division of Corporate Finance's position? The attorney stated yes. But then she stated a second thing. The purpose of the speech was to provide market guidance on how the SEC would treat digital assets. So that's what she said, and if you listen to Jeremy Hogan's video, he has an opinion on this. He says she's basically already lost this case. First of all, he said, I couldn't believe she said that, but also that basically that this motion was already lost in the first 5 minutes. I think that's how he put it. The fact that she said that has basically set now the SEC back, and who knows what Judge Netburn is thinking. Who knows if she is going to continue to buy their BS case and what they continue to state, considering they keep flip-flopping on the argument. So this puts the Hinman speech back into play as market guidance and relevance. Just thought I'd mention this too, guys, on the heels of yesterday's court appearance. The SEC just filed a motion to seal its opposition to the amicus brief of Patrick Doody. This coming from John Deaton. They are citing as a basis of witness safety. I sure hope no XRP hodler has contacted or threatened Mr. Doody in any way. So, witness safety. That's something I wasn't expecting. If Doody was indeed threatened, it is because the SEC is trying hard to hide his report. To argue now that hiding even more would ensure the safety of their witness, if it were indeed threatened, lacks any logic. Why didn't the SEC ask to censor his name, but publish his report? So that's an interesting perspective I never thought of. John Deaton, just going back onto this, I'm speculating as to the basis, but I will tell you now that no one should contact any witness or any lawyer at all for any reason. I'm not saying that it happened, but the SEC filed the motion to seal for a reason. And Fred Rispoli also responding here, wow, SEC asking for a gag order preventing the public from knowing about its own experts' weak position. You'll see how bad it is, Your Honor, after we file it. And why would Ripple oppose if SEC provided any type of cogent explanation for SEC's request? Something is fishy here. So some people here are thinking, could it actually be more of a stall tactic to push this case even further into the future? Anyway, this is what they're claiming. This is what they are doing. Despite all this, though, Stéphane Hubert posted this clip on Twitter, which I've shown on my channel in the past, but I think now is an appropriate time to show it again. Amy M. Starr, chief of the SEC Office of Capital Markets Trends, this is what she said at a hearing the very day before the Hinman speech.
As to the utility token question, I know there's a lot been said out there about using utility tokens. Words don't matter in this case. People are putting a title on something, and it is driven by certain law firms and others in the industry calling something a utility. The title doesn't matter. We will look at what it is. And if what it is satisfies, say, the Howey test for an investment contract, it's a security. If it's something that literally you are buying something that you're only going to use in an already existing platform that you are buying to use, then I would say, hey, that token is a use token, which may not have the characteristics of security. And so what the key on all of this actually is, what are the facts? What are the facts and circumstances? Because that's really what's going to be determinant of whether or not you're on a securities law side or whether you're developing a platform and the token is, you're just pre-selling this token and it's only being used in the platform and there's no secondary market trading and you don't, there are, I always like to say there's a real spectrum. And where you fall on the spectrum is clearly going to depend on the facts and circumstances of what you have.
So I'm sorry, this was not a hearing. This was, I guess, a simulation at Georgia State University. But you heard Amy Starr there basically stating a utility token already has to have a use case on an existing platform. And that, as she states here, would not be considered a security. So the exact thing that the SEC is claiming XRP is, and there's tons of proof to suggest otherwise. Their delay tactics can only work for so long, but I think after yesterday's hearing, it's quite apparent that they have already put their foot in their mouth, and if they're not careful, this is not going to end up well for the SEC. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.